Something tried to reach your soul last night. It wasn't visible to your eyes, but the heavens saw it, and they reacted instantly. Your name echoed through the higher realms because something dark whispered it and tried to mark your light. But before it could reach you, before it could latch onto your energy or send waves of confusion into your sleep, he appeared. Archangel Michael, in full divine armor, his sword blazing with fire, not of this world. He stood at the edge of your spirit, guarded your soul while your body slept, because you're not alone in this world, and you never have been. Right now, your energy may feel heavy, or your heart may have been racing without reason, or you may have woken up with a strange sense of dread. That was the spiritual battle taking place while you were dreaming. And now, you're hearing this message because Archangel Michael wants you to wake up to what just happened. This wasn't a coincidence, it wasn't just a bad dream. It was a spiritual strike that never landed. Because he stopped it. You're being protected. Because you're being called. Now take a deep breath. Because what you're about to hear next will change the way you see your life, your energy, and your divine purpose. You've felt it, haven't you? That heaviness that suddenly settles on your chest for no reason. The moments where your heart beats faster, but there's no danger in sight. Sleepless nights, silent cries, a shadow following you, not seen but sensed. Right now your soul is under attack, and this isn't poetic language. It's a reality. There are realms you cannot see, dimensions that do not operate by human logic. And in these realms, ancient forces of light and darkness clash every single moment. You are more than flesh. You are spirit, and your spirit is powerful. That power is exactly why you're being targeted. Last night, as you laid your head on the pillow, you thought you were simply sleeping. But in the realms above, heaven was preparing for war. Because something dark was on its way. A curse was sent. An attack was spoken. Your name was whispered. Not in prayer, but in darkness. Yes, your name. And the enemy knew exactly where to strike. Your soul. Not your body. Not your career. Not your reputation. But your soul. Because when your soul is confused, heavy, and exhausted, you stop believing in your purpose. You disconnect from divine guidance. You doubt your light. And that's exactly what darkness wants. But heaven didn't sit still. Archangel Michael heard the call. He saw the darkness forming, and he didn't hesitate. With a flaming sword of divine light, he cut through the veil of fear. He blocked what was meant to destroy you. Because even though your soul is under attack, you are not alone in this. Right now, this video is not just a coincidence. It's a divine interception. It's Archangel Michael's voice reaching you through the veil, to wake you up, to prepare you, to call you into light. He's reminding you of your protection. He's reminding you of your strength. He's reminding you that the war may be invisible, but you were never unguarded. And the moment you clicked on this video, the light surrounded you again. Now take a breath. Place your hand on your heart. Say silently in your mind, Archangel Michael, I receive your protection. I stand in light. I reject every spiritual attack meant to harm me. I am guarded. I am guided. I am chosen. If you just said that, type I am guarded in the comments to seal this prayer. And if this message is making something in your soul awaken, hit subscribe. Because this is just the beginning. Archangel Michael has more messages waiting to be revealed to you. Have you ever noticed how some days feel like a silent battle is being fought around you? You wake up, but something feels off. You feel drained, heavy, like your energy has been stolen in the night. Nothing terrible has happened, but nothing feels right either. This isn't just a bad day. This is what Archangel Michael calls a spiritual trap. A hidden web cast by dark forces, sent to quietly unravel your divine purpose before you even notice. When Michael says your soul is under attack, it's not just about dark dreams or bad omens. It's far more clever than that. It comes as confusion, as fatigue, as endless overthinking, as a slow, invisible force pulling you away from what lights you up inside. This is how the enemy works. Silently, slowly, invisibly. You begin to procrastinate. You lose your fire. You doubt your path. And suddenly, your prayers sound hollow, and your spiritual gifts feel out of reach. But let this be very clear. They're not attacking you because you're weak. They're attacking you because you're waking up. You are remembering who you are. You are reclaiming your light. You are breaking cycles that generations before you couldn't, and that makes you dangerous to the dark. The spiritual realm has seen your glow increasing, your awareness deepening, your intuition returning. So forces were sent not to destroy you, but to distract you. Because if they can confuse you, they don't need to defeat you. If they can tire you, they don't need to bind you. If they can numb you, they don't need to curse you. That's the trap. And Archangel Michael is exposing it now, because your time of silence is over. You've been asking why you feel this strange emptiness, why your thoughts keep spiraling, why you're stuck between who you were and who you're becoming. This is spiritual interference. This is soul sabotage. This is an attempt to hijack your divine timeline. And now that you're aware of it, you hold power over it. Michael is not only exposing the trap, he's pointing to the doors it came through. Someone around you has carried envy in their energy, and it's leaked into your space. A place you frequent holds stagnant or wounded spiritual residue weighing you down. A habit you've normalized is actually draining your sacred focus. A thought planted by fear has been repeating like a loop, detaching you from divine truth. Michael shows you all of this with clarity now, not to scare you, but to awaken you. Because when your eyes open, the darkness loses its grip. Feel this truth in your spirit. Your tiredness was not laziness. Your confusion was not failure. Your silence was not weakness. It was spiritual camouflage. It was the effect of the trap trying to keep your light from shining. But now your light is piercing through again. Michael says, remove what does not belong to your future. Release what interrupts your divine clarity. Reclaim what darkness tried to dim. The fog is lifting. The attack is breaking. And your spirit is remembering its original power. There's a moment in every spiritual battle when the tide turns. A stillness enters the soul, not because the storm has passed, but because you've stopped running from it. You face it, not as a victim, but as a light bearer. That moment is now. Archangel Michael says the reversal has already begun. The spiritual attack sent to your soul is now backfiring. Everything that was draining your spirit will now fuel your next breakthrough. But it starts within you. You see, the enemy counted on you not recognizing what was happening. It counted on your exhaustion making you numb. It counted on your compassion, making you tolerant of what was actually stealing your peace. But now, you're seeing everything. Michael shows you what they tried to bury. He unveils the faces behind the silent envy. He reveals the invisible threads tying your energy to old wounds and toxic souls. Suddenly, the random thoughts you dismissed start to make sense. That dream you had last week, that whisper telling you to stop trusting someone so easily, that moment when your body felt sick in a certain room or near a certain person, that wasn't random. That was your soul's warning system. And you've been hearing Archangel Michael all along. You just didn't realize it. He has been waking you up with a still voice saying, look again, feel deeper, protect your light, because now you're being positioned for a spiritual upgrade. Let's talk about that power shift. When divine reversal begins, 3 major signs will unfold in your life. 1. The unmasking of energetic manipulators. Suddenly, the people who drained you emotionally will either expose themselves through conflict or start distancing from you. Why? Because your light is no longer feeding their shadows. Your aura is cleansing, and manipulators can't survive in spaces of rising truth. 2. Radical intuition activations. You'll start to feel things before they happen. You'll pick up thoughts in rooms without a word being spoken. You'll hear whispers in the spirit saying, Not this path, not this person, not this deal. That's not anxiety. That's divine intelligence being restored in you. 3. Divine time distortions. What used to take you months will now come with speed. Opportunities delayed will begin arriving suddenly, after you release who blocked them spiritually. Synchronicities will follow you. The right words, people, and dreams will collide to move you forward faster. This is the phase where your soul is not just recovering, it's being rearmed. And this time, you're not just healing quietly, you're awakening loudly. Your voice will carry new frequency. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Your decisions will cut cords you once felt too guilty to sever. Michael says, "You were never meant to fight in the dark. You were born to command the light." So feel it now, your energy returning. Not the old energy of just surviving, but a new energy of divine precision and protection. This isn't just an emotional moment. It's a spiritual recalibration. You are re-entering alignment with your higher mission. The spiritual attacks came because something sacred is close. Because a version of you is rising that your past can no longer contain. Because you are beginning to see clearly again. And clarity, dear soul, is the enemy of confusion. So take a deep breath. Your soul is not under attack anymore. It's under elevation. You are stepping into the part of your life where spiritual attacks lose their power and your divine memory returns. Michael urges you now, do not shrink when the pressure rises. That pressure is birth pain for the promise ahead. You are not cursed. You are chosen. This is not the end. This is the opening of everything you were born to remember. While your conscious mind was still unaware, something divine had already begun. Heaven is not passive. It watches. It waits. And when danger approaches your soul, it acts. Archangel Michael does not sleep. He sensed the shadows gathering, long before they reached you. Like a guardian scanning the edges of time, his awareness pierced the veils. In the realm of divine intelligence, the alarm had already been sounded. This wasn't just spiritual intuition. It was a sacred transmission. A warning was sent through the frequencies of light. Your soul's vibration began to shift. Something dark had come too close. And that change in energy? It was enough. Enough to summon Michael and his legions of light. In the angelic realms, they don't wait for the curse to hit. They intercept it. At the edge of time, your name was spoken in heaven. Your aura, your divine signature, flickered like a warning flare. And instantly, a holy response was activated. Flames of sapphire blue began to swirl. Michael unsheathed his sword. Not metaphorically, but spiritually. A real divine action took place. And the moment it did, the entire realm around you shifted. You may not have seen it. You may have felt only a tingle, a dream, or a strange stillness in the night. But spiritually, a battle had begun, and your name was the reason. Michael did not come gently. He roared with power. His wings spread across dimensions. His voice shattered dark codes. He stood before your soul and declared, "Not this one, not tonight, not ever." Your room may have looked still, but the atmosphere had changed. Light frequencies had entered. Dark vibrations were shattered. And the attack that was sent to destroy your energy was returned to the sender, multiplied by divine justice. Heaven keeps score, and those who target the innocent eventually face the sword of truth. You may be wondering, why would someone, seen or unseen, send a spiritual attack toward your soul? And the answer may shake you. It's not because you are weak. It's not because you did something wrong. It's not punishment. It's the opposite. You were targeted because you are becoming powerful. Your light is rising. Your soul is awakening. And darkness always notices light before others do. The enemy senses things in the spiritual before they become visible in the physical. Before you knew how gifted you were, dark forces did. Before you believed in your own strength, they trembled at it. Because your soul is ancient, because your mission is divine, and because your name is written in heavenly scrolls, as one who would awaken others, you carry something. A frequency that disrupts shadow realms, a vibration that breaks generational patterns. You walk into places, and energies shift, even when no one sees it. You have survived too much. And still, you kept your heart soft. You have been betrayed, but chose to forgive. You have been silenced, but now your voice is rising. That alone is a threat to darkness. So the attack wasn't random. It was calculated. It was meant to silence your divine identity, to blur your inner clarity, to distract you from your sacred calling. But what the enemy didn't know was that your soul has been trained in fire. You were forged in spiritual warfare. There is a reason you've always felt different. A reason you've had dreams that others don't understand. A reason you've sensed things others ignore. Because deep inside, you are one of the awakened. And you're not here just to survive. You're here to shift things. Archangel Michael knows who you are. He was assigned to you long before this attack ever arrived. And your name is still glowing in the spiritual realm, not as a victim but as a warrior of light in the making. What tried to break you will be the same thing that reveals your power. And now, it's time to understand how this power within you works. Listen carefully now, because this is the part no one ever told you. You are not just protected by Archangel Michael. You were created with divine defense codes inside your soul. You don't just receive protection, you radiate it. There is a sacred energy field around you, unique to your spiritual DNA, and when awakened, it becomes a living shield. Not everyone carries this field. Only those with a divine mission, those like you. You've felt it before, haven't you? That moment when you knew you were saved from something invisible. The time you escaped a situation that others didn't. The inner whisper that warned you to walk away. Just in time. That wasn't luck. That was your inner divine alarm system. And it's real. Archangel Michael isn't just your guardian. He's your trainer. He stands beside you not to protect you forever, but to teach you how to stand in your own holy power. And here's how it starts. First, you must reclaim your spiritual name, the name heaven knows you by. It may not be your earthly name. It may come to you in dreams, in moments of deep peace, or in meditation. That name carries frequency. It opens gateways. It activates your angelic lineage. Next, begin speaking light commands, words backed by faith and fire. For example, I cancel every dark assignment sent against me by the authority of divine light. Or I command my angelic shield to activate now, in the name of divine truth. Do you feel it? The air shifts when you speak like this. Your energy recalibrates. Because darkness can't survive in the atmosphere of your activated soul. You are no longer a passive receiver of heaven's help. You are becoming a commander in the realm of light. And when you call upon Archangel Michael now, he answers faster. Because he sees that you're no longer asleep. The war around you may continue, but now you're holding the sword, the shield, the voice, and darkness will retreat. Because it always runs from those who remember who they are. Your soul is not under attack anymore. It's awakening into power. Sometimes the divine doesn't speak in words. It speaks in patterns, in interruptions, and in perfectly timed moments that feel impossible to explain. These are not coincidences. They are angelic alerts. And when your soul is under attack, as it has been, Archangel Michael steps in with visible proof that he's nearby. But you must learn to recognize these holy signs. The first and most powerful, a sudden chill on your skin, without explanation. It may feel like the air just shifted around you. like something passed through your space. That's not your imagination. That is Michael's presence brushing past, slicing through dark energies with divine fire. The second sign, you may begin to see his number code, 111, 911, 144, 777. These aren't just angel numbers. These are battle codes. 911 means emergency angelic intervention is near. 144 signifies a high-ranking soul mission. 777 means your protection is complete and encoded. Another sign. You start hearing your name being whispered, but no one is around. Sometimes just before sleep or in total silence. This isn't hallucination. It's a spiritual check-in from Michael, alerting your soul to stay aware. Next, you'll begin noticing that swords, shields, or blue flames appear randomly, in dreams, in art, in someone's words, even in reflections. Michael is the archangel of the blue sword, and when he's near, this divine symbol appears to remind you, I am here. You are protected. You may also notice electronics glitching around you during prayer or meditation. This isn't a tech issue. This is your energy field becoming so activated with light that it disrupts frequencies. You may even feel someone touch your shoulder gently, or a soft pressure behind your neck, like someone is standing behind you, guarding. This is Archangel Michael's signal of, stay calm, I've taken position. And here's the most soul-stirring one of all. You'll begin experiencing unexpected delays, car not starting, missed calls, odd detours. You might feel frustrated. But what you don't realize is, Michael diverted you from a spiritual ambush. That delay was divine redirection. Remember, protection doesn't always feel like comfort. Sometimes it feels like confusion, until later, when you see what you were saved from. Archangel Michael doesn't always shout. Often he nudges, he interrupts, and he redirects, because his mission is urgent and your safety is sacred. So from now on, when the unusual happens, pause. Look deeper. Because Michael might be standing right behind that moment, sword in hand. When your soul is under attack, you don't have time for vague prayers. You need direct spiritual warfare tactics, and Archangel Michael responds not to panic, but to clarity, faith, and precision. He is a warrior, a general of heaven's armies. He respects ritual, authority, and spiritual command. So if you want to call him instantly, you must create an energetic portal strong enough for him to enter. Here's how. 1. Timing is sacred. Call on Archangel Michael during the early hours before sunrise, between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. This is known as the veil hour, when the distance between heaven and earth is thinnest. It's when angelic armies patrol most actively. If you can't rise then, sunset works too, the moment between light and dark. 2. Face the east. Michael is the guardian of the eastern gate of heaven. Stand or sit facing east when you pray or invoke. If you don't know where east is, use your phone's compass. Your orientation matters. It aligns your field to his entry point. 3. Light a white or deep blue candle. This represents purification and celestial fire. The flame is not just symbolic. It draws attention in the astral realms. Michael's energy often responds to fire and light, especially blue flames. 4. Use his direct invocation name. When you call, say clearly, Archangel Michael, Defender of Light, Guardian of Souls, I summon you now by the authority of divine truth. Stand before me, surround me, fight for me, remove what I cannot see. Let your sword cut through all shadows. Let your fire burn away all traps. I welcome your protection. I open my space to your presence. I am ready. Say it 3 times. Not because repetition convinces him, but because your own soul needs to fully believe it. 5. Add 1 physical action. Place your right hand over your heart. This activates the field of the soul. Or draw a small invisible sword in the air in front of you using your finger. These gestures open gateways for angelic forces to engage. 6. Be silent afterward. Don't rush away. Stay in stillness for 3 to 5 minutes. This is when the shift begins. You may feel your ears ring. You may feel heat behind you. You may even feel nothing at all. But that doesn't mean the call went unanswered. Michael does not operate on emotional signs. He acts on divine command and mission protocols. 7. Seal the session. End with the words, "By divine will, so it is." This tells the angelic realms your invitation is complete and your space is now protected. It also prevents open spiritual gates from being accessed by anything else. Now remember, this isn't a one-time ritual. The more often you do it, especially when under attack, the stronger your field becomes. You create a spiritual shield that holds even when you're asleep or unaware. Archangel Michael does not need candles, words, or direction to protect you, but you need them to awaken your authority and to remind your own soul that you are not alone. He's not waiting to be invited. He's waiting for your command. You may think nothing happened. You said the invocation. You lit the candle. You waited. And then, silence. But in the realm you cannot see, something erupted. Something ancient. Something divine. Something terrifying to the forces that have been feeding on your weakness. When Archangel Michael steps in, he does not come quietly. His presence is like a sword ripping through the fabric of the astral world. He arrives not as a gentle whisper, but as a cosmic eruption of divine fire. And the moment your name leaves your lips in summoning, the angelic records open. Yes, your name. Not your legal name, but your soul name. The vibrational frequency of who you are, written before your birth. When Archangel Michael arrives, he checks this name. He confirms its alignment, and then he scans the darkness around it. Here's what happens next. 1. Chains start reacting. Any cords of attachment, spiritual parasites, dark pacts made knowingly or unknowingly, they begin to tighten. Why? Because darkness senses its time is running out. It begins to fight back. You may suddenly feel fatigued, anxious, emotional. You might even feel like giving up. That is not your mind. That is the recoil of the shadows that no longer want to let go. 2. Archangel Michael draws his sword, not just for you, but for your bloodline. If your family has been under patterns of generational bondage, poverty, betrayal, addiction, misfortune, Michael sees it, and in many cases, you were chosen as the first in your line with enough light to call him. So he begins clearing not just your energy field, but your ancestral field. This is why the first few days after summoning him can feel heavy, because the war has already begun. And what's worse, many of the forces tied to your bloodline have grown comfortable living in your field. Michael's sword cuts deeply, not to harm you, but to remove what's been hiding in you for decades, sometimes even lifetimes. 3. The enemy attempts counterattacks. Dark forces do not release territory without resistance. Once Michael begins his descent, you may notice increased negative thoughts, people around you turning against you, sudden misfortunes or digital breakdowns. Why? Because the lower realms want to distract you from staying aligned. They want you to doubt the process and to believe nothing happened. But make no mistake, these reactions are a sign Michael has already landed. The atmosphere around your life is shifting. 4. Divine allies begin activating. Michael never works alone. Once he begins clearing your space, he calls on divine helpers. Archangel Raphael for healing, Archangel Gabriel for messages and clarity, Archangel Uriel for divine justice, seraphim and thrones to restore purity and structure. You might dream of unfamiliar light beings. You might see feathers, flashes of gold or blue light, or repeating numbers. These are signals. The divine forces have surrounded you. 5. Your name begins echoing in the angelic realms. Yes, literally. Your soul's light, which was dimmed, begins to pulse again. And in the higher dimensions, your name becomes a note, a signal, a beacon. Not just for angels, but for your soul tribe, spiritual mentors, and heavenly guides, many of whom have been waiting for you to awaken. So if you suddenly feel like you're being watched, you are, but not by darkness anymore, by heaven, and they're waiting for your next move. Because calling Archangel Michael isn't the end. It's the initiation. The moment you realize that your soul is under attack is not meant to terrify you. It is meant to awaken you. Archangel Michael has never left your side, not for a second. And right now, he is raising his shield of sacred light around your soul, forming a barrier of divine energy that no shadow can penetrate. This isn't just protection, it's empowerment. You are not helpless. You are not weak. You are not the victim of dark forces. No. You are being activated. This is the moment your soul remembers why it came here, to stand in the light when the world is surrounded by darkness, to hold the line when others fall asleep to their divine purpose, to protect others just by standing in truth and calling upon the power of heaven. Archangel Michael's shield doesn't just block evil, it reflects truth. And that truth is this: you are worthy, you are chosen, you are divinely equipped for the battle in front of you. All that heaviness you've been feeling lately, the anxiety, the confusion, the anger, the fear, they were never yours to carry. They were curses sent to distract you from your mission. But now, with the shield of sacred light raised, all of it starts to lift. The fog clears, your mind sharpens, your heart steadies. This is your spiritual turning point. You're not watching this message by accident. You were guided here because heaven wanted you to remember who you are. Breathe. Feel that light wrapping around you now. It's not just Archangel Michael's protection, it's his initiation. He is calling you to rise, to speak your truth, to walk forward in faith no matter what darkness tries to follow. And if this message is stirring something deep within you, type, "I stand with Archangel Michael," in the comments. Let the divine realms know you are claiming your light back. And don't forget, subscribe now. Because this awakening, it's only the beginning of what's coming next. And Archangel Michael has so much more to reveal. If this message has stirred something deep in your soul, and if you feel the presence of Archangel Michael working in your life, consider offering a super thanks below. Even a small gesture helps us keep sharing these urgent divine messages with others who are silently fighting battles just like yours. Your support is not just appreciated, it's sacred. Because every time you give, you're helping spread the light to someone else still walking through the darkness. And trust this, Archangel Michael sees the intention behind every gift.